Welcome to H2K Infosys. H2K Infosys is a e-verify business based in Atlanta, Georgia, United States. We provide 100% job-oriented, instructor-led, face-to-face, true live online software training programs. It also includes access to cloud test lab with software tools. We provide live project for you to work on. We also provide assistance with mock interviews, resume preparation and review, and job placement assistance. H2K Infosys is trusted by so many students across the world. H2K Infosys provides world-class services in IT training with real-time project work for corporates and individuals, special IT training for MS students in the United States, software design, development, QA manual and automation, performance testing and maintenance, IT staff augmentation, job placement assistance, and tech support.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, Lydia. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Are you practicing well?
Yeah, actually today I tried to, download the SQL, MySQL, and
Okay.
I was able to create the database and insert some records in it, but from Eclipse I was not able to, connect to the database.
Okay. Today we'll be seeing code on how to get the connection object, how to do an insert, statement, prepare statement. We see all that code with examples, how we connect to database through Java. That is what we see, we discuss it about the statement, prepare statement, and then we write code.
Yeah. So I did that today, but I couldn't, it didn't recognize, the connection it recognized, but if I log in if I get into the SQL, the database, if I connect from the command prompt, it shows, when I see the status, it shows root at localhost. So it's not even asking me for the password. So I don't know what, if you would cover those.
No, you could have saved the password. When you auto save it, it doesn't ask you for the password.
Okay.
Every time when you just open it, it doesn't ask for the password.
Okay.
When we install, there will be a setting you want to save the password,
Okay.
Folks, everyone have any doubts? We'll start class in 2 minutes. Before that, you could ask me if you have any doubts.
Neha, Venkat here.
Yes, Venkat, tell me.
I was not able to implement that compare to method properly. So can you just go back to that collection part?
Yes, sure, Venkat.
No, I understand the concept, but when I'm
that's fine. We can discuss it, and that too for everyone also. It's very important concept, So let me see if they have already. Okay.
The student,
No. See, you're doing the comparator or the comparable. There are two things in Java. We have comparable and comparator, Venkat. So what are you doing? What were you doing? Comparator or comparable?
No, I tried this example, like whatever we discussed in this.
Okay. Yes. So here we have the comparable. See, we want to put student objects in the tree set, right?
So student object, it has only the constructor, or what is that we are having inside that student?
See, student object, basically student class can have an argument constructor or any argument constructor, right?
Yeah.
So whatever the constructor we have to pass the values that matches this constructor, right?
Correct.
So for example, here, folks, everyone please pay attention, this is very important. I have an argument constructor here, right?
Yes.
You see it? Here, I can create a student object using the argument constructor also. I can just create a student object here. right? This is also fine.
Yeah.
But the values will be null, right? Because I haven't put anything, it's going to be null. But the funda is, when I want to put a class object into a tree set, that specific class has to implement the comparable interface. Here, the student class has to implement the comparable interface and should provide behavior for the compare2 method. In the compare2 method, we tell Java on how to compare it. How does it determine if one object is greater than the other or one object is less than the other? Hello?
Yes, Neha. Yeah, I'm following.
So you understand this or any doubt?
So this O dot roll number, whatever we are passing from that program, right? Tree set.
Here, we are not internally calling it. If we want to call the compare2, how do we call it? This is an instance method, right?
Yes.
So we need to have an instance to call it, right? So internally, it compares the object which is calling this method and the object which is passed as the constructor. Same with equals also, right? When I say s1 dot equals s2, I mean s need not be a string, any object, o1 dot equals o2. It compares o1 and o2, right? Even for compare2, we should call it an object. I say o1 dot compare to o2, it compares o1 and o2. Here in the tree set example, we are not comparing it. The Java internally compares it, as in that code is written in the tree set to compare it actually. So how to compare it is what we are telling it in the compare2 method here.
Okay.
I mean, you could ask me like any doubts because this is like very important, very, very important. See, here we have so many parameters in the student class, right? We have the roll number, we have name, we have the section, right?
Yes.
We say that when we put elements in a tree set, they will be sorted, right?
Yes.
What do you mean by sorting?
This
will be an order, right? When I put A, B, C, A is less than B, B is less than C. No, that kind of order should be maintained, right? So, when it has so many parameters, on what basis it has to sort the student objects? It should sort based on the roll number, or it should sort based on the name or section. How does it know? We have to tell it, right? Because there are so many parameters. It cannot say, I want to take this parameter randomly. It cannot do that, right? So, we specify that behavior, that specific behavior is defined in the compare2 method.
Here we can have another compare2 just to compare the name or section.
No, we can override it. We can provide either one of the behavior, right? On what basis you want to do it? Instead of taking, I can remove this code and I can put code to compare it based on name, right? See, you're going to tell here the behavior, how exactly you want to compare it.
Okay, so at a time, like one field we will choose as a key, like.
Yes, no, see, if roll number is equal, right? So you want to again compare with like internally use name to compare it also. You can do that.
Okay,
name is
yeah, I understand. Again, you have to write the same logic.
Yeah, if you want to do it that way.
Okay.
So, for example, let's say, folks, listen very, very carefully. I wrote my code, Venkat. So, for example, let's see. Everyone, folks, me and Venkat are working in a project. I write my student class. I want the behavior to sort it based on a roll number. Okay? Venkata is also writing this code. He wants to sort it based on name. I'm using in my page. Let's say I want to sort the results based on roll number. Let's say Venkata is also using the student class. I wrote the student class. I'm comparing it. I'm sorting it based on the roll number. Venkat is using my code and he wants to sort it based on name. right? That is what your question, Venkat?
Yes, Neha.
Yes. So what do we do is, that is the reason we have comparator. So we create comparators. Okay? We create a class. We create comparator. We create a class which implements comparator. So folks, these are two different things, comparable and comparator. And we override the behavior for the compare to method. This way we can create any number of comparators. For a class, we can create any number of comparators. Here, I am sorting it based on section, right? So if you want to sort it based on section, I pass this comparator, right? For example, let's say books. Here I have added it in the tree set, right? So now what does it do here? First, it sorts me based on the roll number, right? Folks, every one of you. So it sorts me based on the roll number, right? So when I run this code, what will be my output? First 21, 23, 29. Folks, are you clear till this? Because I'm putting it in a tree set and the comparable interface behavior or the compare to method behavior is saying it to sort it based on the roll number. Folks, everyone is clear till here? Okay. I mean, if you don't ask any questions, I think you're clear. If you have any doubts, please raise your voice. So it is sorting based on the roll number as it is defined. Let's say there is another requirement which we want to sort it based on section. So what do? We create a comparator for the class. So we create a class which implements the comparator interface and we provide behavior for the compare method. So folks, if you see the compare method, it takes two objects. See, it compares O1 and O2. It has two arguments, both the objects, it compares both these objects. So I have the comparator. So folks, in the very first class we were discussing, when we say small collection, it is nothing but a data structure. But when you have a collection starting with capital C, it is an interface from which set and list are extended. And we have a class collections to do utility things with collections. So we have a start method here. Let's say I have a list. I have created out of this array list, tree set. So folks, how do we convert, if you want to convert tree set into a list, right? I can create an array list passing that set to the constructor of the array list. If you see folks, the array list, you have an array list with no arguments. You can create an array list passing any collection. So we can pass tree set. So we created a list. And then I'm asking to sort that list. The sort takes a list, right? And it takes a comparator. When we don't provide any comparator object, how does it sort? It sorts based on the comparable, based on the specific class implementation. If you provide the comparator, this comparator overrides the behavior and it sorts based on the behavior that is present in the comparator. So what is the behavior that is present in the student comparator? It is sorting based on the section. The comparison is based on the section. So in the second, when I edit and print the list, the sorting is done based on section. 1 second, folks. Let me just. See, the section is A, B, C, right? Let me, give me a second. Okay. Sorted this element, sorted tree set. So that. This is very, very important. In many interviews, they ask if both does the comparison, why do we have two interfaces, comparable and comparator? This is very important for your interviews as well as your development also. So, okay, I can use the advanced tool. So, Foxy, in this loop, I'm printing a tree set, and in this loop, I'm printing the list. So, the tree set is sorted based on the roll number. Is it 21, 23, and 29? And this list is sorted based on the section. We have sorting, but based on different parameters. Folks, you understand this?
Yes, Neha.
Everyone?
You said for interview question why we use comparator.
No.
Comparator.
See, yes, exactly. It's a very prominent interview question, important interview question. That why we have comparable and comparator.
Okay, and then comparable we're using for list.
No, it's not comparable. It's using for list. See, we can associate a certain behavior of sorting with the class. Okay, that is what we are doing with the comparable interface. We are attaching the sorting behavior with the class itself, right?
Okay.
But if you ever want to override the behavior, change the sorting behavior that is associated with the class, we use comparator.
So in this example, by default, we given as the roll number, but we are trying to sort it by section through comparator.
Yes, we can change it to sort. I told you, right? In a very real DM scenario, folks, one developer write the class. That specific developer want to sort it based on specific parameter, right? There might be another module which is just using the class, but they want to sort it in a different way. If you come and change this code to sort it based on section, my code will break, right? Because I want my sorting to be based on the roll number, right? My functionality breaks, right? So what you do is, you don't change this class. You keep it as it is. But you write your own comparator to sort it based on what parameter you want to. And use this comparator without touching this class, without changing any behavior, without touching this class basically, without changing any code in this class.
Neha, in this case, by default, it's taking roll number, and we are not mentioning anywhere. Why is it taking roll number? Based on what is it?
See, if we don't override anything, by default, sorting based on the roll number is what it is associated with the class, right? That's why it takes roll number. If you want to change it, we have to provide a comparator like that. We have to create a comparator and provide a comparator for us to change it.
In the tree set, okay. Yeah, go ahead, Manoj.
Okay, so my question is, you say you can change the behavior, right? So
sorting behavior.
Yeah, sorting behavior. We can change.
See, by default, when we add it to a tree set, what is the sorting behavior that you see here? When we put the student elements to a tree set, what is the behavior that you see?
Whatever we mentioned in the class.
Exactly. Whatever that is mentioned in the class, that is associated with the class, by implementing the comparable interface, that's what we see as the default behavior. When we put elements in a tree set, the sorting behavior that we see is the behavior that is attached to the class by implementing the comparable interface. If we want to change the behavior, we create a comparator and we pass the comparator object to change the sorting behavior. Manoj, are you clear?
No, I mean, you say to change the behavior, we create
to change the sorting behavior.
Sorry, sorting behavior.
Yes,
but we can do it but we can do it with comparable also, right?
How can you do it? If you want to sort based on two parameters, how can I do it in comparable? I can specify only one thing in this method, right? I cannot specify two different behaviors here, right? If I put it in section, it's not based on section, not roll number, right? Manoj, tell me, what is your question?
No, what I'm trying to ask is, you said changing the behavior, sorting behavior, right? Now what you're showing...
There is certain sorting behavior that is attached to the class. Is it? You understand that?
Yeah.
There is certain kind of sorting behavior that we are attaching to the class by implementing the comparable interface, right?
Okay.
If we want to change this, right? You create a comparator. It's not like changing one after the other. You want the behavior that should work fine. I want my sorting based on roll number. I want it, and instead, in addition to it, someone else wants a different sorting behavior. Then we go with the comparator.
And what the different sorting behavior means?
Different sorting behavior means one behavior is sorting based on the roll number here. Another sorting behavior is sorting based on a section. Another could be sorting based on a name, right?
Okay. So you mean to say if we already have a class and we can't change it, then we can create a
comparator. Yes.
And we can we can specify different behavior in that one.
Exactly.
Sorting purpose. Okay.
Yes.
Now I got it. I'm a little bit so slow, I guess.
No, nothing of that sort. Because see, some students, like, I said out, they ask me, like, if we want a different sorting behavior based on section, why don't you change it here? If I want a different thing, I can change it. But I want two things simultaneously. Simultaneously means we want both the sorting behavior. In one place, I want the sorting based on roll number. And in another place of the project, we want sorting based on the section. So we want both, right? If you want only one, the specific thing, you could put it directly here in the comparator method. But if you want a different thing, in addition to this, we create a comparator, Manoj. Are you convinced?
Okay. I got it.
I can see it in your voice.
So other thing with this one, comparable and comparator, we have iterable interface also.
We use Iterator.
Yeah, Iterator. So we have iterable, then there is one method in that one, Iterator.
No, see, we have the Iterator object, like, we get from the set or a list. To iterate it, we get the Iterator object from the list. Say list.iterator, set.iterator is what we get.
This one is general. These things are like.
Even this we have to specify generic. This is iterable only through student object, right? Here it is giving me warning, right? This warning goes off if I specify this, right?
Okay.
A-list.
Because A-list is of type.
Yeah. I'm so deep in student object. Yeah.
Okay, so we have this already have this string. If you have a custom class like a student, okay, and we are putting those objects in a list.
Here, when we are iterating through that list, we have to specify here as student object.
Okay.
Student, not string.
So we already have collections classes, collections implements iterable. So that's why we can do for loop or for each on that one.
So see, actually, this is the advanced for loop that is only came since Java 1.5. So that for loop syntax, like they are internally doing the iterator and getting all that. You don't need to write it. When we specify this, that Java internally does the functionality for us. That is the beauty of the advanced for loop.
Okay, so that means we can.
We don't need to use iterator when we are using the advanced for loop. The advanced for loop, when I say, right, this is the advanced for loop. When I say advanced for loop, folks, everyone, this is what we call it as advanced for loop, and it is only with Java 1.5. When you are using this, you don't need to use iterator. You don't need an iterator.
Post collection implements iterable already, right? That's what.
So see, internally they have written the code. Let's say, in the newer version, they might, like, internally they are getting the iterator object and they are doing all sort of things internally.
Okay, so when we write our custom iterator, or it just like because I used to write custom iterator like 3-4 years back in our classes. I don't know for what I used that one, but in this one we already have iterator. So when we implement the iterable or something like that, or custom iterator or something like that.
When you want to iterate, let's say, in a different way than the normal way, when you want a certain behavior of an iteration that go back, forth, it's not normal way. If you want to do it, we do custom iterators. But the collection classes, they already provides the iterator for us. All these collection classes, they themselves are providing the iterator objects for us. They have the iterator method, I think iterator or iterator, yeah.
It's iterator.
The method name, we have it, yeah. So, which gives us the object directly. We don't need to, I think it's from, yes. They have the functionality on returning the iterator object for us.
Okay, so if you want to change the behavior of iteration, like hopping by twice or odd number even or something like that, then we can use custom iterator?
Yes.
Okay. So that's the question they're always asking in interviews.
What's the question?
The same thing, iterable, because I didn't know that, I didn't have the answer that collections are using, implementing iterable.
See, let me tell you this. I have all these, okay, in a list, let me tell you this. Right? If they ask you, when do you create a custom iterator, right? So, there is an iterator that the collections provided by default. Let's say I have a list, right? When I say list.iterator, it gives me an iterator object, right? What that iterator does, if I have 10 elements in the list, it goes first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10, right? If I want to iterate, let's say, through only the object, only the student objects that start with name A or that start with name M, I write a custom iterator for it.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? In general, it goes one after the other. That's the iterator fashion. But your behavior could be like, I want only odd objects. I want to iterate through even objects. Or I want through the object whose name, like, certain fields start with A, B, or M, or V, right? This kind of thing.
What do we need to do in case, let's say, we want to just have a name starting with A?
See, we have to create an iterator by implementing the iterator interface, java.itl.iterator interface.
Okay, and which method to override iterator?
I think yes, iterator function we have to override. Let's say I'm just doing it. You can try it after the class. Let's say class. Right. So is it clear? We have to override these methods here. Right?
Yeah.
So we have to override these methods. Next, say returns next object, right? Here we have to get the next object, and if our behavior is not satisfying, right, go one more next. You understand what I'm saying? You want to go to the next element, right? That's a.
Oh, okay.
So if you say if you're saying here next, that means next means in a list or whatever you're providing.
See, let's say static. Let's say I'm saying element cursor. I think we are eating JDBC class, but this is worth it. This is right. Plus without zero. Right? On the first object, when I'm getting the first object, every time, right, I'm implementing it, right? Okay? So, if this Infosys. This, right? I just want to do an X. I don't want to get the element. I don't want to get the even elements. I just say X.
Yeah.
So it will get me only the. I'm very bad at typing, folks. You know, I always wish that there should be some kind of thing which listen to us or read our mind and does this typing for us, right?
Yeah.
You see it? Like, you know, it's not written kind of null. You want to return the current object based on it, like that. So, you know, we override the behavior by implementing this interface. You understand at a high level what the purpose of it? Or,
yes, so you said current object from which place? From a list or some any other data?
Anything.
Exactly.
You want, see, you can use this with anything, like, you know, with any collection you say you want to get the specific custom iterator object. Hello?
Yeah.
This is how we create a custom iterator.
JVM is calling the compare to method when you implement the comparable interface.
I'm sorry?
JVM is calling the compare to method.
So many of our students have given testimonials on how our training programs are. You will find them on kudzu.com and on our website H2KInfosys.com. On our website H2KInfosys.com, you will also find more detailed information on who we are, the courses that we offer, what each course covers. Also, if you're interested in a demo program, please register on our homepage on the left-hand side. Just give us more information about yourself and we will send you a link for a demo class. The demo class is absolutely free. Experience our commitment by just attending an orientation workshop at no cost. Our team of faculty and advisors are here to guide you with the right information. If you still have more questions, please feel free to call us. Call us at 770-777-1269. This is a United States number. If you're calling from the UK, call us at 020-337-17615. You can also email us at training@h2kinfosys.com or h2kinfosys@gmail.com. Thank you for watching our videos. We wish you a great career in information technology.